Welcome back to the channel, y'all. It's so great to have y'all here or there, you know, wherever you are. If you're returning, I'm glad that you found whatever you were seeing, hearing, connecting with to be fascinating enough to, you know, tune back in. So, a lot of you guys have been commenting and referencing and just like talking overall about cannabis and THC and CBD to deal with severe anxiety and just mental illness in general. Sort of that whole realm of like herbal health or herbal medicine. A little bit of context slash background. For me, I have like unofficially slash officially like I don't know, like if it is it unofficial if you're like doing it yourself, but like I don't have any education to like back it up, so it's kind of like very amateurly using cannabis to treat my anxiety. In all honesty, it was like really the only thing that was working slash like has worked to treat like my day-to-day anxiety, not like panic attacks or anxiety attacks, but like the anxiety that I have that like makes just like life harder. And if you have anxiety, then like you probably know what I mean. If you don't, then I guess I can try to explain it. So like around work, for instance, you know, I'll have to send emails. Sometimes I'll have like a dumbass question or a question that I think is dumb. Or, you know, sometimes I'll have to like correct somebody because like I know I'm correct and I know that they're wrong as fuck, but like, you know, they need to know that. Or sometimes like I need to admit something that I can't do. Communication in general at work, you get the point. I have trouble with, obviously I still execute it because we enjoy a paycheck. We love the employment. Like, you know, being able to live is fantastic. But my anxiety literally makes things at work slower. So it's like not crippling in the sense that like I'm still able to do things, but like I'll draft an email, I'll read it like 10 times, I'll wait an hour, I'll read it another 10 times, I'll wait an hour, and then, you know, press send, close my computer, and then run away and like pretend like I didn't send it. And the difference between just like nervousness is that like everyone gets nervous, obviously. This happens over like the simplest of simplest questions. So as you can imagine, it happens like every single hour. And that pretty much simply goes for everything in my life. So cannabis I have like really used to sort of like get me through that in the sense that like I won't have those inhibitions and I'll just like cruise on along and it'll be dope. But these are just CBD gummies and they are no THC, they're just CBD. I've been using these for about like a month or so now and it's the same way I've been using, or the same way I was using Xanax when I was prescribed, as needed. So when I feel myself really feeling that like that anxiousness or like that irritability rising, or when I notice like shy, honestly, my 4-month-old dog is a really good tester of that, or like indicator of like, all right, you're a little bit too anxious or too like, you're a little bit too on edge right now. And that's because he's annoying as fuck, but like, not really. He's actually a really, really good dog. Scarily enough, like for him to be a 4-month puppy. He like listens a little bit too well, but I'm not complaining, obviously. However though, when he is being like his puppy self and I'm just like not having it and it reaches to the point where like, all right, you need to understand that he is a puppy and that's just in his nature, he's a pretty good indicator that like, all right, something is off for me, like mood wise. Hopefully all that makes sense. And that's like when I take one of these. It's just like an edible, you just take 1 or 2, I guess. It says 1 on here. They are 500 milligrams, so I don't really know if that's a lot or if that's a little. But like I said, that's perfect for me. And I bought this one earlier in, like I would say mid-October, and there's like 4 in here left. And I just picked up this one like 2 weeks ago. I don't know, it's a lot in here. Not like a lot, but like a decent number. So overall, the 6.3 ounce can of 500 milligram CBD gummies, it lasts me about a month and a half, I'd say, for me. Now, like my anxiety, honestly, like with some hiccups there and here and there, has not been to the point of like severe, extreme, like oh my god, like levels in a while. I'm not even sure if these bitches would work for that. Been like pretty moderate to mild. So, you know, just really do what works best for you. I think it's more like, you know, there's so many things going on in my mind and my brain is moving so fast. I'm moving so fast in terms of like tasks, in terms of just like life in general. People tend to piss me off, like things that don't like work well tend to piss me off, like traffic. Like I'm just an angry person and I don't necessarily like, I do feel like irritable and I do feel like a little bit more angry, but I wouldn't say that like I'm always conscious of it. Friends who are like asking like what I would say stupid questions, I'll be like, why are you asking me dumbass questions? Like, just shut up and don't say anything. And there's like 1,000 different examples like that. But people don't like that. People don't like when you're irritable, especially when you're elevated for long periods of time, as in like, you know, weeks or months. And like when that just becomes your personality, that's not great. It also like can get to the point where it starts to feel uncomfortable within me. So like while I do not describe myself as an angry person, I don't think I'm angry all the time. Within those like quick seconds that it like does flare up and I get like so frustrated and irritated, it's like not a comfortable inside feeling. Like my heart rate is like up. I'm like, oh my god, there's so much to do. What the fuck? Oh my god. Okay, I get stressed, and that's where these have been the most helpful. So like people always typically think of anxiety as being nervousness. It is, but like, you know, a lot of times anxiety is irritation and like, you know, just frustration. Cannabis, honestly, like flower by itself, like the THC component for me, like it made things better, but it also slowed me down like significantly. So sometimes it would like make the frustration worse, if that makes sense. Like if I'm trying to do like work, or if I'm trying to do a paper, or if I'm like trying to do something, obviously after using cannabis, you're like not like really moving at the fastest of paces. Sometimes I am, like, I guess if it's the right strain, but like other times, you know, I'm moving very slowly. I also feel more creative, or like I pay more attention to detail. So it's annoying that like I have to pay attention to like such like superfluous detail in the work that I'm doing, that like I'm frustrated that I'm moving so slowly, and like it's a great product, but like the frustration just builds. That doesn't do any of this. It's essentially like freaking taking an edible without like the brain delayed versions of cannabis, I guess. I don't know, you guys, I'm just like really fucking happy with it. It like helps me sleep, you know, because I have trouble sleeping at night, / like I don't ever want to go to sleep. It helps me eat. Now that's like an extremely important point. If you remember from my earlier videos, like a lot of times, or like recently, I have been feeling, you know, a little disoriented in terms of like how I see myself weight-wise, and have been, you know, possibly, potentially, maybe like choosing not to eat certain meals, which we all know is like not good and all. But if I'm hungry, then I'm hungry. So like I'm gonna eat, don't care. I just like haven't been hungry, and I'm not like sure if that's like because of some other stuff, or if that's because of like the hypomania. I don't know. This helps me like eat though. It makes me hungry. Not in the same way cannabis does. Like I don't have the munchies, but I like do have the ability, or like I eat like a normal person. Originally, I had tried CBD like in 2017, and it was like the CBD oil. I was in London, and like I can't remember why I was trying it, but it wasn't with the intention to like treat my anxiety, because I hadn't like experienced like my severe crippling, not like can't move type of shit anxiety until like the year after that. So I either bought it trying to feel some of the psych effects, which by the way you can't do. Like if you feel something off of these, like it's not these. So with the oil though, it was just gross, and like I don't necessarily like, you don't eat the oil, obviously you smoke it, but like even in smoking it, I just remember being really heavy. The taste, like I think it was like literally just pure oil, and I think that's why I didn't like it. It literally tasted like I was vaping like freaking canola oil or something. I don't know, just wasn't for me. And like I said, for the longest period of time, normal cannabis flower or cannabis concentrate, or like cannabis edibles or whatever, like that worked for me perfectly fine. Now obviously I have bipolar disorder as well, so there's a lot of debate whether or not that like I should be doing that at all to begin with. I'm a firm believer of people doing what makes them feel the best. Now obviously that is a fine line, a very fine and difficult line to like describe and draw and define, but it's important nonetheless, in the sense that like, all right, somebody could be like, oh yeah, this shit is great for me, it works wonders for my anxiety, when like it's actually low-key making them manic and like destroying their lives, and they're like low-key addicted. Like that's obviously not what we want. I honestly did feel as though, and / I do feel, I just don't use it as much because I have these babies, I honestly do feel as though it was working at that point in time in my life, or like in periods in my life. It really was perfect for my anxiety. Essentially the psychoactive part of cannabis, like the THC part, makes me like more manic, or elevates my mood even more. I didn't like CBD before because, like, honestly, I just kind of liked the feeling that I got even if I wasn't hypomanic. Like, I liked the elevated feeling. Yes, I used cannabis for anxiety, but I also used it to have fun, bitch. Honestly, I would never say that this could replace like a mood stabilizer because like my mood like is still pretty much like up there, but it does like, it tailors it, like it fine tailors like the aspects in my life, I would imagine, because I'm not technically on a mood stabilizer or antipsychotic or any of that jazz. But it's made life a lot better in the sense that like if I was ready and willing and at the place to put certain things in my life to kind of normalize it completely again, and that's super vague and doesn't make any sense. If I was super dedicated to making sure I went to bed early, you know, making sure that, you know, I was getting the right amount of sleep, making sure that I was eating right, basically making sure I'm doing all the steps that I need to as a person living with bipolar disorder who is currently hypomanic and does not want to be, / like wants to have a stable mood. Like there's a lot of things. This is like an aid to that. So it like makes things easier, I guess. Why is this always like so hard to explain? It's like, this is gonna sound really weird, but you know when you're putting up a shower curtain and you have to line up the holes to fit the like circle-y ring thingy so that it can be held there? CBD basically helps me line those holes up just perfectly. That putting the shower curtain up is like super easy. Without CBD, the shower curtain's like falling down, like the holes are misaligned, like I missed a hole, shit's a mess. It's up there, you know, the shower curtain's up there, but shit is sloppy looking and it's just like, it's not pretty. These allow for your stable, pretty shower curtain to be hung and for it to look fabulous and for you not to ruin your floors and get water everywhere. Without those though, I would probably be back where I was this summer. And if you remember how that was, I'm not really sure how sustainable that was. All right, y'all, and that's all I have for y'all for today in terms of reviewing these guys. I am going to be talking a lot more about these, and I know I always say that, but I do want to make more videos about the cannabinoid system, the science essentially behind these babies and what that means for the bipolar brain. But I do want to update y'all in terms of like other CBD products I'm trying and just how these are going in general. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you want to comment anything, any CBD products that you like, how shitty your anxiety is too, you know, we can relate on that. Basically anything, obviously. Feel free and comment. And lastly, of course, remember to subscribe and turn on those subscription notifications because you will then find out when I upload another video about CBD. Peace.